6 on your side is live today on top of Mount LeComte, where right now it's about 18 degrees.
A balmy 18.
Yes.
Our Kristin Farley made the trek this morning to help say goodbye to the site managers who are leaving the mountain after more than a decade right there on top of the mountain.
She joins us live now to show us what life is really like way up there. Hey, Kristin.
Hey, you guys, the temperatures dropped here about 10 degrees in just the past hour and a half. And if you look behind me here, everything that was coated from all of that rain is now turning into ice. So it should be a pretty interesting night up here on top of the mountain. And again, we are going to talk to the site managers here in just a few minutes. They are busy right now preparing dinner in the dining room. But before we do that, we really want to give everyone at home a little taste of what life is really like up here on the mountain. Now, keep in mind, we were up here about 3 weeks ago, and a lot has changed.
6,593 feet high, where the weather can change in a blink of an eye, wildlife appears fearless, and the scenery looks like a piece of art.
I don't know if I'll have the right words to put it in. It's just, it doesn't look real. I mean, it looks like you're looking at a photo or a painting by some famous artist.
This is Mount LeComte in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, the highest guest lodge east of the Mississippi, and a place not taken for granted by those who see it firsthand. What helps to make this place unique is there are no roads in or out. Llamas bring up supplies 3 times a week, and you have to hike a minimum of 11 miles round trip. In other words, you have to really want to get here.
I'm on up in years, and it's always a challenge to me to be able to get here, period. And after I've gotten here, it's just so relaxing and a real sense of accomplishment that, wow, one more time, those legs did it, got me up here. Thank you, Lord, for that experience.
The experience is thanks in part to people like Jack Huff, who wanted to showcase this land in hopes of it becoming a national park. These photos from the Park Service archive show the early days of construction back in the 20s and 30s. And as the decades passed, more cabins were built. Now they can accommodate a staff of more than a dozen and up to 60 guests a night.
Good evening, everybody. If I can have your attention for just a couple of minutes, I have a few announcements for you tonight.
Today, with your rustic overnight stay, comes a family-style dinner by kerosene lanterns, the dining room and cabins warmed by propane heaters, and there is water piped in from a nearby spring. A day up here, in some cases, can feel more like a week away from your everyday life.
Not everybody would want to do this experience, but it's just like going back in time a little bit to me.
Part of the experience for people like avid hiker Mary Spellings is taking in all of the views LeComte has to offer. A few quick hikes from camp opens up totally different landscapes. Just 0.2 of a mile from camp, there is Cliff Tops, a popular place to see a sunset, though on this particular night, we were socked in with fog. The next morning, we hiked in the dark for 0.7 of a mile for sunrise on Myrtle Point, and Mother Nature put on quite a show, leaving many in awe.
There was no chance I thought we were going to see a sunrise like this, and it's been, worth the wait and getting up early to go see it.
And even if you can't get a reservation up here, because they are pretty hard to come by, hundreds of day hikers keep making the trek, enjoying the unique scenery along one of the 5 trails and the unforgettable time on top of the mountain.
It's like staying nowhere else in Tennessee, and I think that's what keeps people coming back.
And Bo and Lori, the journey up here, really each and every time is different, and it never disappoints. I heard you guys saying about the temperature, the highest temperature ever recorded up here being 81.5. And I remember when that happened, and there was actually a heat wave, if you will, down in Knoxville. Just to give you a little bit of perspective, it was 102 degrees down in Knoxville when that happened up here, just to give you an idea of the difference up here.
It's just absolutely breathtaking, Kristin. That sunrise is something that I think no one would forget if they take part in that.
No, I can honestly tell you, I have been up here about 5 or 6 times. It was the first time that sunrise was not socked in for me. It was literally breathtaking. Our pictures really don't do it justice. And everyone just stood there in silence, not just for a minute or 5 minutes, but what seemed like a half hour, just enjoying the glow of the sun and just the beautiful show that was being put on for us. And Lori and Bo, it really was perfect.